Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. We start with the breaking news of the day. Nebraska Athletic Director Trev Alberts announced today that Scott Frost will return as the Huskers head coach for the 2022 football season. In a subsequent release, Nebraska football announced the immediate dismissal of offensive coordinator Matt Lubick, offensive line and run game coordinator Greg Austin, running backs coach Ryan Held, and quarterbacks coach Mario Verduzco. In just a few moments, you'll hear from Trev Alberts, who joins us here in the Acres Broadcast Center to discuss these moves. In other football news, Huskers wide receiver Samori Toure was named to the Fred Biletnikoff Award watch list this week. The wideout had 4 catches for 150 yards and a 72-yard touchdown against Ohio State Saturday. On the season, Toure has racked up 718 yards on 33 catches, good for an average of 21.8 yards per catch, which ranks 7th best in the nation. The Biletnikoff Award is annually given to the receiver deemed to be best in the FBS. Nebraska volleyball dropped to number 11 in the latest AVCA poll following their 1-1 record last week. Coach Cook will be hosting his weekly show on this Wednesday, Sport Nightly at 7 p.m., as his team will look to take the week to prepare for their matchups with Maryland Friday and Indiana Sunday. At the top of Hour 2 tonight, Huskers men's basketball assistant coach Nate Lenzer will join Sports Nightly for the weekly men's basketball show. Lenzer will set the table as the Huskers men's basketball team kicks off its regular season this week with games Tuesday against Western Illinois and Friday against Sam Houston State. In pro sports of note today, the Oakland Raiders waived 2020 first-round draft pick Damon Arnett after video surfaced of Arnett making death threats with weapons. And on Monday Night Football tonight, the NFL is looking to keep its upset-filled week going as Justin Fields and the Bears will look to keep the trend of upsets going as they take on the Steelers in Pittsburgh tonight. Kickoff is set for 7:15 p.m. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Ramir in the backfield on second short. Fake the handoff, rolling the pocket, back to throw. Adrian takes a shot downfield, has a man open. It's Ramir, makes a catch. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Huskers burn that Wolverine defense for a second time in the third quarter.
Now Penn State back right. Johnny Parker stuffed.
A huge block. Nebraska, big block. Couldn't have been better timed. Huskers lead. It's 2019, Sep 2.
Here is your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to another week of Sports Nightly. We've got a busy show for you tonight. Going to talk with the athletic director for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Trev Alberts, here in just a minute. Hour number 2, our men's basketball show for the night. Nate Lenzer will be here. The Huskers will start the season tomorrow about this time against Western Illinois. So a busy hour, but we do start with the news of the day, and that came from the athletic director's office earlier today. The vice chancellor, director of athletics at Nebraska, Trev Alberts, who joins me today. You put out a statement a couple of hours ago saying that after observing everything, you were going to retain Scott Frost as the coach. Lay it out for me. What went into your decision making?
Well, first of all, we're really excited that that Scott's going to be back, and I've really enjoyed this year. I didn't know Scott well when I took the job. We didn't really overlap, and just like with any relationship, I think over time and you gain some trust with each other, I think you can have some more intimate conversations and detailed conversations about a program that we both love very dearly. And I'm not one to make big, bold proclamations, and I prefer to have, we don't publicly determine who's going to win a football game in the middle of the second quarter. We play all 4 quarters and see what's on the scoreboard. But the challenge is with some of the changes in college athletics, obviously, with an early signing date and a transfer portal. I do think that at this point in an off week when coaches are going to head out and do some recruiting, it was important that we sit down and discuss the future. There was no question to me in making some observations that there's some things that we can do differently and we can get better. I want to first say that Scott and I both understand that our results have not been what they need to be. Nobody is suggesting that where we stand is currently comfortable and or acceptable long term. But I also think in just observing and watching some things that are very, very important to me in terms of the unity of the players, the work ethic, the togetherness. Those things are there. And so I've talked about incremental progress, and I've seen that in some key areas. I also want to tell you and very transparently say that the Minnesota and Purdue losses were difficult for me, and they shake some of your confidence. But proud of the response, proud of how they played against Ohio State. We don't buy into moral victories here, but I do think that, some of those very detailed, fundamental things about attention to detail and organizational skills, those types of things, Scott and I have discussed, and I believe that Scott has a good plan and a vision around that. And I think some of that small incremental progress can continue to move forward as we move forward into next year. I just think that these last 2 weeks against Wisconsin and Iowa, we owe it to our student athletes to have 100% focus, both coaches and administratively, to support their chance at winning those 2 games.
You mentioned in the release, and you just said it a moment ago, his plan and vision, this is coming from Scott Frost, was part of that, the coaching decisions that were announced just a couple of hours ago by the head coach.
Yeah, they really were, and Scott and I have worked through that over the last several weeks and just talking about that. It's important to me. I don't believe it's the athletic director's role to tell a coach you need to fire that coach and hire this coach. I like to ask questions. Most of it was fairly self-evident to Scott, and I think he knew that certain changes need to be made. But this was Scott's plan. This is Scott's plan that he brought to me, and the way these things work is Scott brings plans to me, I bring plans to my bosses, and ultimately you try to gain some consensus, and I believe in the plan that he's presented, and I'm looking forward to working really hard with him to see if we can execute it at a high level and be successful.
In your release, you also used the term that Scott has agreed to a restructured contract. What can you share with us about that?
Yeah, we'll have more details later, but I do think it's important that people understand. Scott's talked about how he bleeds for the Huskers, and this is important, and I think it was important to me when I look at good deals, good business deals. I rarely see a good business deal where only one party has skin in the game. But if both of us have skin in the game, we're both fairly incentivized to work really hard to be successful. And part of risk is mitigation of risk as well. And so having some understanding about some of the changes that Scott wanted to make, Scott was willing to reduce his salary next year to $4 million from $5 million. And then we've renegotiated his buyout for next year from $15 million to $7.5 million. And so I think those are 2 really important indicators about Scott's commitment. He's talked an awful lot about how important this is to him. And in a way, Scott's bet on himself. And I like that. And I think that's pretty cool. And so, like I said, Scott's probably a little bit uncomfortable. The university and I might be a little bit uncomfortable. And that's why I think we have a really good deal. And there's no guarantees of success, but I think this gives us the most reasonable chance to work together, all hands on deck, to see if we can execute his vision at a high level next year and keep making progress to getting Husker football back to where we'd all like it to be.
You mentioned the Minnesota-Purdue games were disappointing results. The fight that they put up against Ohio State, how much did that factor into what we've seen here today? Well,
part from me, Greg, is the challenge of, with 4 games left. Remember, we had 2 bye weeks, so that's 6-week season. The challenge for me in going public with either supporting a coach or removing a coach with 6 weeks left in the season is a lot can change. The history around here, if we're really honest, is when we'd lost some of those games, the team unwound and you'd lose 70-6. Well, it'd been pretty hard if that happened. And when that didn't happen, and that's not to say that it couldn't happen at Wisconsin or, at Iowa. But the point is, I think it's a strong indicator of whether the team is following the coaching staff. At the end of the day, leadership is about having people follow you. And our young men are following this coaching staff and fighting hard. I felt terrible for them, but I think the unity that they are showing and the work ethic and the togetherness is an indicator, as I said in the release, of their belief in the leadership of Coach Frost and his staff. And, that's important to me.
What reaction have you gotten in the last couple of hours? I saw Chancellor Green tweeted out, very supportive of this move. What reaction have you gotten?
Well, like anything else in life, got a society that's probably going to be pretty divisive with any decision that's made. I've heard everything from I've set the program back 2 years to this is the right move. You know, I've thought a little bit about this too, Greg. You know, there are no easy answers. You make as well of a informed decision as you can given the data that you have at the time. And sometimes I think if a decision is hard to determine and you're not sure which way to go, Scott's one of us. He's a Nebraskan. He's a Cornhusker. He's a brother. And so if we're going to err, perhaps we err on the side of loyalty. You and I both have, and everybody in this department has a name tag, or whatever it's called, on our desk, and it has our core values underneath it, and loyalty is one of them. And so we're not going to be blindly loyal. I don't want to send that message. But if you're trying to balance one or the other, and we're going to err, I'd like to think as long as I'm here, we're going to err on the side of loyalty as best we can.
Totally different topic. We're 24 hours away from the start of the college basketball season. You're excited, aren't you? Fred Hoiberg tomorrow night, Amy Williams tomorrow at noon.
I really am. I think both those coaches have done an outstanding job. Got some great recruits, young talent, but talent doesn't win you games, and that's why we have two great coaches. They're just, I've gotten a chance to meet with Fred and Amy, both of them, and I'll tell you, Husker Nation, we're really lucky. Those are two of the most high-quality individuals you could ever meet that are leading our men's and women's basketball program. I love working with them, and I love all of our coaches, but looking forward to basketball. I love a good basketball game.
Gonna be good. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Trev Alberts with us here tonight. All right, our Sports Nightly hotline, it's open for you, 402-413-2400. It's brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Jeremiah Searles will join me next. We'll take your calls, get your reaction to today's big announcement coming up next.
You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from the Woodhouse Auto family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to woodhousekickoff.com. That's woodhousekickoff.com.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sapp Brothers. For 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The Rural Fellows Program doubled their average number of participating students this year, putting UNL student interns to work in 17 Nebraska communities for the summer. Interns use their skills to get real-world experience on a variety of projects, from mapping out trail systems to creating promotional videos to researching and documenting local history.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Whew. Sometimes being an office printer feels like I'm competing in an Olympic sport. Thankfully, I have Marco's Managed Print Services on my team. Marco's game plan helps me make big plays while saving big bucks. And Marco's lightning fast tech support gets me back in the game fast. I'm up. Find out what your printers could be saying with Marco's Managed Print Services at marconet.com.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
It's Game On at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres Solutions for every field. Jessica is on assignment this week, so we fortunately were able to secure the services of Jeremiah Searles. And you had a premonition this would all happen today. Your first day in here.
Yeah,
right?
why not? Let's go for it, dude. We're going to come out the gates hot. Let's just go for it.
Planning on just getting in a lot of the nuts and bolts of the Ohio State game, and then all this happened today. Your thoughts about what you just heard the AD say?
You know, I think that it's the right move. I think that for this program, as much as I love this program, and being able to listen to Trev talk about, hey, he's one of us. I mean, I agree. Scott wore the N, and I always tell people, hey, I'm loyal to the guys that wore the N before me, the guys that wear it now, and the ones that wear it after us. And to have Scott at the helm, I believe, is the right thing for this program. And so I thought that was handled beautifully. And I'm excited. I'm excited about the future of the Husker program right now.
I thought this might happen. In fact, I told you and Ben in the booth on Saturday, I thought if the Huskers compete really well against Ohio State, and they did, I said, I thought with the bye week and a lot of recruiting about to happen that this could take place today. What I didn't anticipate was the quick change on the staff. And I hurt tonight because those are good men. Those are good players, and some of them wore the N, and Ryan Held and Greg Austin. I feel for those guys. This is not easy, but this is also part of the business.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you sign up for. When you say, hey, I'm going to go coach college or NFL or whatever it is, I mean, if you last in a city longer than 5 or 6 years, you're part of the elites, right? I mean, that's just how the age of college football works. And knowing those guys, and that's not easy. They're all competitors. I mean, they all wanted to turn this thing. They all wanted to come here and take the Nebraska to where it needed to be. But it's like you said, it's part of the business. And moving on from that graciously, but with 2 games left, it's a little surprising for me of kind of, okay, who's on the headset, right? Like who's down there drawing plays on the sideline? And it's a great opportunity for some of those young GAs, honestly. If you want to talk about it, some of these young guys that are going to get quality control guys, offensive quality, you getting a shot here. You're getting a chance to say, hey, I've been detail-oriented. I've done all these things during the season. Let me get a chance to go put the headset on and see if I can make a difference.
Stephen in Lincoln on our text line said, who is going to fill those offensive coaches' roles? Could Ron Brown? Absolutely, Ron Brown would be a thought. We'll let Scott Frost address that, and I'm sure he will in the coming days. But you have analysts, you have people on the staff that are breaking down tape each week but aren't coaching that have football backgrounds. They'll probably have enough bodies to make this work.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we're going to be finding people off the street like, hey, you know how to coach receivers, right? I mean, I think that the other piece, too, is your leaders got to step up in a big role here. Your offensive leaders, I'm thinking guys like Austin Allen, Adrian Martinez, Travis Vokalek, guys that are Cam Jurgens. Those guys have to step up in a big way. When you lose the voice in your room, which is your position coach, there's kind of leadership by committee. And I think that we have some really good leaders put in place in those rooms that it's not going to be a circus. I really don't believe that. I think that these guys have a lot of pride that they're going to do well too. And I think we're going to be all right these next 2 games.
If the bye week hadn't happened now, my feeling is they would still be employed. But I think because of the bye week and the ability to go recruit this week, forced Nebraska's hand to make the call today.
Yeah, because the last thing you want is questions in recruits' minds.
Right.
The last thing you want is recruits going, well, what's actually going on over there? Now it's, hey, here's what happened. Here's the plan going forward. And you can walk into these recruits' houses and sit in front of their parents and sit in front of them and say, here is our vision. Here's where we're going. And this is why we made these changes, which sits a lot better than, well, we'll figure it out here in the next couple weeks.
All right, phone lines are open, 402-413-2400. Let's head down to Texas. And Mike, good evening, Mike. Welcome to Sports Nightly.
Hey, fellas. I was hoping to talk to Mr. Alberts, but apparently he's fled the interview, as they say.
Got a question?
Yeah, I do. Well, a comment. Comment is this was based solely on money. If it wasn't such a huge buyout, he'd have been gone. He's a dead man walking. The other thing is, how do you sell to? I guess I would ask a question first. Does Frost have autonomy on these hires? These 4 guys that he's going to have to replace. Will he have full autonomy on these?
All right, appreciate it, Mike. I disagree. I don't think he's a dead man walking. I think it's up to him. As Trev said, he's got skin in the game. I think if this program can go win 8-9 games next year, I think Scott Frost would absolutely be the head coach in 2023. I don't view it as a dead man walking at all.
If it was dead man walking, he would have said, pay me my buyout and let me walk. I mean, if Scott didn't want to be here, Scott would have been not making, hey, I'll take a pay cut. Hey, you can negotiate my buyout. He wants to win. Every competitor at one point in time in their life, at whatever level you played, has bet on yourself. And Trev said it. Scott has bet on himself. He's put himself in the position of win or lose, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to make that decision. And I think it's perfect. I think it's a great way because when you have a little fire behind you, you perform higher. Competition breeds greatness, right? Scott's competing now.
Yeah.
He's competing to make this place great.
Yeah, Mike, I kind of feel like that's pretty insulting to Trev to say that. I think you just basically are questioning Trev's decision here. And I think Trev stood up to the plate and looked at this thing and saw some real positives. I think you got a defense that's playing at a pretty elite level right now that's keeping you in games. Why would you want to blow that up by firing an entire coaching staff? I think you're closer than if you go completely change everything. Where do you have no guarantees then? I think you feel like right now you're maybe on the cusp of something good happening. So I disagree with that whole take.
And on the other part of the autonomy on hires, it's going to be a committee hire. Scott doesn't just get full right. That's never how it works. I mean, Trev Alberts and Scott will talk. They'll work their way through of, hey, here's who we're going to bring in for this plan that we've set in place.
And Trev said, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to go tell coaches which guys to put on their staff. That's why I hire them to be head coaches. Let's go to Kearney next. And Randy, good evening. Randy, welcome to Sports Nightly.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Not bad.
Yeah, I got a couple things. First off, as far as that dude that looks like that guy from the weekend at Bernie's, the quarterback coach, and them guys, it's about time they get canned. And I kind of agree with that guy that just called about Frost. Wasn't such a big buyout. He'd be looking for a job. And my third thing is, you said you just said something like we have a elite defense or something like that. If the defense is so elite and so good, how in the hell did they give up almost 500 yards Saturday? This bend and break defense is a joke. And that's all I got.
All right, Randy, appreciate it.
Bend and break defense. Has he watched Ohio State all year? They average 50.8 points a game since they lost to Oregon. We cut them in half. That's not a bend, don't break defense. That's a frustrating the number 5 team in the country with maybe the best skill position of all FBS teams in the country and making them have to go the distance each time. And really, we let up, one explosive play?
They didn't score a touchdown in the second half.
That's
a heck of an effort.
That's an elite defense. We're ranked in the top 20 nationally.
Michigan State didn't get a first down.
The Heisman favorite, Kenneth Walker, we held him to 47 yards in regulation. I've seen elite defenses. I've been around elite defenses. This is an elite defense. And guess what? We're doing it without first and second round picks on that defense. We're doing it because 11 guys are playing hard for each other, and Chenander's calling great football games.
Let's head down to Tecumseh and Chet. Good evening, Chet. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, fellas. I'm a little bummed to hear all this negativity here with Husker Nation and dead man walking and all that. I think it's nonsense. I mean, I was pretty bummed to see Ryan Held go. I remember watching him down here in Peru State country, coaching way back in the day. But I'm wondering with this O-line vacancy, if maybe it isn't time for Jeremiah Searles. He's always got good insight. I think he could do some real good stuff. I'll shut up and listen to see what he's got to say here.
My wife, first of all, would never allow me to go into coaching. And second of all, I am nowhere near qualified enough to coach offensive line at the University of Nebraska. I appreciate the kind words, Chet. But, I mean, it's like we opened the show with. I do feel bad for these coaches that have to go. These guys have families. These guys have food to put on the table. But necessary changes were made today, and that's what you have to do when you want to be a winning program.
On our text line, it says, Frost gave up $8.5 million guaranteed today, but it's about the money. I think that's exactly right. Scott Frost laid about $7.5 million on the table today going, I'm willing to bet that I can win here. I'm willing $7.5 million I'm putting on the table here.
Yeah, he pushed his chips all in and
sure did.
And said, I got this. Let me do it. Let me go out there and do my thing. And guess what? If it's not up to par or whatever, then I'm going to lose that.
Hawaii Dave on our text line said it's official. The gap is closed between Nebraska and the teams in the Big Ten. Nebraska coaching did that by developing their players. They do need some key positions from the portal and the junior college ranks, and Scott has already shared his plan with Trev. They're here to fix the program, not put Band-Aid fixes on this thing. Appreciate that. Let's head back to the phones. Where are we headed next? We're going to go to Tyson in Lincoln. Good evening, Tyson. You're up next on Sports Nightly.
Hey, guys. Gonna put you guys on the spot just a little bit here. Do you guys have any ideas of any assistants that may either A, want to take the job, or B, would be better fits for the roles that we just dismissed the coaches from today? I'll hang up and listen to your answer. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks. My guess, and maybe you've got a different take on this, Jeremiah, is my guess Scott's plan was pretty specific to Trev to kind of bargain for his job. He has specific guys in mind, and if you're going to put men's names on a piece of paper, you've even talked to them about coming to work here.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as the idea of what makes them want to come here, why wouldn't you want to coach at Nebraska? I mean, it's one of the greatest places, and it's a college football blue blood. Yeah, we've had some turnover, but why wouldn't you want to, again, we want to bring guys here that want to bet on themselves and want to come here and be like, yeah, Scott might have kind of a one-year deal, but guess what? I'm going to come here and help make that a 5-year deal. I'm going to come here and get my pay raise because I helped elevate the program to the high level. And I think that's the kind of guys that Scott's going to want to bring around.
Back to the phones, Omaha. Lucas, you're up next here on Sports Nightly. Good evening.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the call. And I've been watching on the stream on YouTube, and there's been a lot of negative talk. And let's just put this all in perspective. This is not a 3-year deal. This is a long sustaining, like this. We now are realizing how bad the program has been. This is going to be for the long haul. I don't think people really understood how bad it was until about now. I just want to throw my support behind Scott. I know a whole bunch of people are. I think that we can turn it around. Rome wasn't built in one day. I want your guys' thoughts on what you think the future is, recruiting, whatever, and go Big Red. Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as recruiting goes, this is about as stable as you can make the ship. As far as, if you want to say it was a rocky ship as it starts with, we've stabilized the ship now, because as much as we don't know what goes on in those conversations with recruits, because we don't have to, they have a plan that they're now laying in front of those recruits too. And you can say, hey, you want to come here and be part of this, then great. Come here and help us get this thing right. And again, we talk about bringing coaches. We're going to bring in kids that want to do that too. You bring in the kids that want to come in, and you bring kids from Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Colorado that are around here that know this program, know what it's about, and you allow them to come in and be part of the building blocks from this thing as we kind of, it's not necessarily a rebuild next year, but it is kind of a refresh and a restart.
Rob in Des Moines says, smart play by the athletic director. If it works, Trev is rewarded for his patience. If it doesn't, the restructuring should cushion the blow to the institution to move on to somebody else. That's exactly how I see it. I think this is a win-win. If it doesn't work in 2022, then you go out and you find a new coach.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at our schedule for 2022, man. I like the Huskers in a lot of those games early in that 2022 season. A lot of changes, but excitement with it too.
Back to the phones we go. Josh, you are up next here on Sports Nightly. Good evening. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, gentlemen. Great decision by Trev today. Great decision by. It's hard, for people to get fired, but change had to be made. I've been talking with my friends, saying, offense needs change, defense is great. So and it's not about the money. We're making enough from the Big Ten. We could pay the buyout. So that's all I got, gentlemen.
All right, appreciate it.
I mean, when you look at the buyout, Scott could have just said, fire me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Scott could have literally been like, just fire me, pay me my money, and go. He doesn't want to get fired. This isn't a kick the can down a road for a year and then fire me. It was the bright move by Trev and Scott, who both, I think Trev has a little bit of that edge in him too, that he wants to help Scott fix this thing. I think Trev's been a phenomenal mentor for Scott to come in here and be a guy to lean on, a guy that's been around different places, because let's not forget, Scott's only been a head coach at a Power 5 school for 4 years. This isn't like something that Scott came from Florida or he came from LSU. Like, he's worked his way through the ranks. He went to UCF. He got his shot. Like, he's still growing and developing as a head coach too. So I'm excited to see how he uses this challenge and this adversity to help better himself.
Back to the phones we go. Let's go up to West Point and Pete. Good evening, Pete. Welcome to the program.
How you doing tonight?
Good.
Well, I think it's real good moves. I want Scott Frost to be our coach. I want him to succeed really, really bad. I think Trev Alberts is absolutely the best athletic director we could have. But I guess I want your opinions. With all the offensive staff pretty much being fired, do you think we're going to have a different philosophy on offense? Do you think they're switching their philosophy a little bit on offense?
I do. I think that if you look back at the last 4 years here at Nebraska, I don't know if I could tell you what our identity really is. Are we an inside zone team? Are we an option team? Are we a wide zone team? And I think that a lot of that was you made kind of the changes to Greg Austin, the run coordinator, but then you had Lubick come in, you had Scott's input. I think that with this being a fresh start of offensive coaches, the first thing Scott's going to do is sit down and put his identity of like, hey, this is what I want our football team to be, whether it's option or whatever it is. Let's build and move on from there instead of trying to kind of piece together certain different offensive schemes run-wise of what we think we can do.
Pete, appreciate the call. Back to our text line. Gents, you are absolutely full of rubbish tonight, and no amount of spinning will change that. Keep towing that company line. Appreciate that. John in Omaha says it's all about the money. Get a clue. Have these guys ever balanced their checking account? Scott could have taken the money and ended it. He's a competitor. We know that. So is Trev Alberts. With those two together, I'm confident in our future. John in Omaha. There you go.
Rubbish. Rubbish is a heck of a word. Rubbish.
Rubbish.
Full of rubbish tonight, Greg.
Hey, this holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's during double discount days. Double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations. And now get a $10 gift card free with a $50 gift card purchase at Valentino's. More of the show coming up next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection. The Nebraska lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
At Subaru, they love building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The redesigned 2021 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. An upgrade in horsepower means you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Visit DeToe Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at DeToeSubaru.com. Upgraded horsepower available on select models.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Lutz is an integrated business solutions firm born and raised in Nebraska with offices in Omaha, Lincoln, Hastings, and Grand Island. Lutz provides expert accounting, consulting, financial, technology, M&A, and talent solutions tailored to you. Lutz embraces your business as their own to discover the right solutions to help you thrive. They mind what matters for businesses or individuals seeking a partner to help energize and heighten financial and organizational success. Visit lutz.us/GBR.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from the Woodhouse Auto family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to woodhousekickoff.com. That's woodhousekickoff.com.
Walk these fields for 85 years. Grow deeper roots here. Know what thrives here. Bring in world-class genetics and innovative traits like Chrome Triple Stack corn hybrids and Enlist E3 soybeans. Refine it through pure local know-how and expertise. Do all of that, and the only thing left is the right seed. Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Here is a before winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, call J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. UNL has been named one of the best schools for veterans for the 5th year in a row. The ranking on the Military Times Best for Vets survey reflects the hard work of Nebraska's Military and Veteran Success Center, serving military dependents, veterans, National Guard members, active duty troops, and many Husker students in the reserves.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and the end of the week and get yourself entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa game on November 26th. That's going to include some pregame tailgate passes. See participating AGCO locations across Nebraska. You can be a winner this season. We're back here on Sports Nightly on a Monday night. Phone lines are still open, 402-413-2400. Jeremiah with me tonight and all week. Jessica out on assignment this week. Let's go. I'll stay in Lincoln. Richard, you're up next here on Sports Nightly.
Thank you. It occurs to me that with the vacancies in the assistant coaching ranks, that one of our big problems has been on special teams. Are there any colleges that you know of that have a coach that devotes himself solely to special teams, which would include the kicking game?
Absolutely. I think that with the coaching changes here, I would not be surprised if we see a full-time special teams coach. I think it's very apparent we are not in this position if our special teams is just even marginally better, and giving full-time attention to that. And I'll tell you this, in the NFL, you have full-on meetings that are fully made for special teams. You have guys that make their whole careers because they're special teamers. There's a reason it's called the third phase of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. It can make a huge difference. And as far as the specialists go, I think that that's just going to continue to keep moving forward. You get a full-time special teams coordinator in here who then looks at, that's his sole position he's recruiting. He's then looking across the country for only specialists at times. I think that can be a big difference, and I do think that will be one of the main coaches that get hired.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Crypto King says Jeremiah is the bomb. So there you go.
Bomb.com.
You're getting a lot of love there. Ron in Oakdale's up next here on Sports Nightly. Good evening, Ron.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Love the show, and I just want to say, go Big Red.
All right.
Go Big Red, as
Very
always.
good. That always works. Appreciate that. Where are we going next? We're going to go down to Beatrice next, and Brad. Good evening, Brad. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, guys. We've learned one thing today, that Trev Alberts has a lot of compassion, and we're going to learn two things in a big hurry. We're going to learn something new about Scott as a head coach, whether he can bring in the right crew that can help the offensive meeting rooms and the athletes become better. I think we could all agree that we look the part of a Big Ten team. Coach Duvall's done a great job. I mean, the offensive line. I mean, you stack people up 4 years ago when we stood next to Wisconsin. We didn't look the part. We look the part now. But we've got to take guys to the next level. That includes the quarterback, the offensive line. I'm not sure yet about the receivers. They're young, but if we can bring the quarterback and the offensive line along, we're going to be in a whole lot better shape. Thanks for taking the call.
I mean, I've been saying it all year. Physically, we can stand toe-to-toe with anybody, and we've proven it. We've stand toe-to-toe with 4 top 10 teams, and you were absolutely right. A few years ago, and I think it was after the Iowa game where Scott Frost got on the podium and says Nebraska needs to get back to being Nebraska, and that just means being physical groups. And so sometimes all you need is a little new blood in there in a room that's already talented, like you're talking about the receivers. Sometimes it's okay to hit the restart button on some of those things. And I'll go back to your first comment. Trev Alberts has been nothing but nails since we hired him here. He's done such a phenomenal job. I'm so happy he's back.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, and it is the law. Let's stay in Lincoln. David, you're up next here on Sports Alley. Good evening.
Hi, I want to talk about recruiting. I want Scott Frost to be successful. We have a recruiting issue, though. When I was in elementary school, we picked teams. There was 2 captains. We picked teams. One picked, then the other picked. What if one captain got to pick the first 10 and the second captain got to pick the next 10? Who would win the game? Our recruiting, there's a huge difference between the top 25 recruiting class and one of the top 5 recruiting classes. We have to figure out how to get better recruits in. We got to figure out how to get the best talent in here. So it's really important. Honestly, without the best talent in the country, we can talk all we want about all of it. But if we don't have some of the best players here, it's just, I don't see how it's going to work. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate it, David. I have a little bit different take on that. I think it's always going to be difficult to get the best players here. We have to be the best at developing players when we get them here. And I think that's across the board in all our sports, whether it's hoops or baseball or football. It's going to be difficult. Where we live, where we are, that's a little bit of a disadvantage. But we've got to be just better developing players.
Yeah, I mean, look at Iowa. Iowa doesn't – you don't see them hitting 4 or 5-star recruits all the time, but they get 3 stars in, they get 2, and then they develop them over time. And a lot of times walk-ons come in and develop. But the other piece, too, is – nobody's getting those recruits unless your name's Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia. I mean, look at Clemson. They've been top 5 recruiting classes, and they're not very good this year. It's not – yes, it is about the Jimmies and Joes and not always the X's and O's, but I agree with you. It's about getting the right kind of kids in here that are willing to develop. Let's talk – I mean, that's another piece of it, Greg. You have to keep recruiting these kids now with the transfer portal.
Yep.
And if you bring these kids in that aren't willing to say, hey – I'll sit for a year, maybe even 2 or 3 until I can physically say I'm ready to contribute in a positive way on the football field. That's the thing that you now have to battle as a coach, which is another reason I never want to coach.
No doubt. Need to slip in our final break of the night. We're back with some final thoughts and calls next.
Isn't it about time to add a new piece of Husker gear to your closet? Check out the new 255 collection, inspired by the legendary coach Tom Osborne. With the mission to connect style with Nebraska pride, 255 was designed with the fan in mind. From Hastings to Lincoln, coach to statesman, leader to legend. Thomas William Osborne, it's all in the name. It's all in the numbers, 255 wins. This is TWO 55. Get yours today at shop.huskers.com or other participating retailers. For more information, visit huskers.com/255.
Walk these fields for 85 years. Grow deeper roots here. Know what thrives here. Bring in world-class genetics and innovative traits like Chrome triple stack corn hybrids and Enlist E3 soybeans. Refine it through pure local know-how and expertise. Do all of that, and the only thing left is the right seed. Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Time to see what's up on tap, presented by Bud Light. Basketball doubleheader tomorrow. The Husker women will open their season against Maine at noon at PBA. 11:45 for pregame coverage. Husker men will play at night, 7 o'clock against the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. Pregame coverage begins at 6. Our next volleyball match will be Friday night. Huskers will host Maryland at 6 at the Devaney Center. Again, that's what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Greg Sharpe, Jeremiah Searles. A couple of more minutes left here in this hour. Let's go to Hildreth and Josh. Good evening, Josh. Welcome to the program.
How's it going?
Good.
Say, big fan, frustrated fan. I think it's the right move. Scott's pretty ballsy, it's gambling, putting that money on the line. And that's his money, but that's his buy-in on the whole thing. Thanks for taking the call.
Yep, you bet. A couple people on text in the chat room. Jeremiah, when do you think maybe you get an announcement of some of these new staff members?
I think you want to announce them as soon as possible for recruiting case, but you got to think the coaching carousel hasn't started yet. There's still 3 weeks left in the season, not including bowl prep. So, it's going to be curious to see how this plays out with the announcement piece.
Only about 30 seconds left in the hour. Dan in Fremont, you'll have to be quick. Good evening.
I will, guys. I really appreciate the show and what you all bring to it. And I just at first was upset by some of the tone of the Husker fans early on, but I think the support for Frost is there and for Trev. It's the right decision. Trev's in it for the long haul. You got to think back when he decided to come to Nebraska. Some people outside Nebraska would have thought that was the poorest career choice he could have made at where he was at his career at that time. This is not going to happen overnight. We need this stability, this foundation. And we're just blessed to have him here right now.
Dan, appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. You picked a tough night to come sub for Jessica.
Hey,
huh?
I'll always come in and talk Husker football, man. I live and breathe Husker football.
All right, we're back on Wednesday, right?
I'll see you, buddy.
Tomorrow night we're off because of Husker basketball tomorrow night out at PBA. Our Sports Nightly Hotline, which has been buzzing tonight, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Our Husker men's basketball show for the week coming up next. Nate Lenzer in-house. Look forward to introducing him to all of you. We'll talk some Husker hoops as they get ready to launch the 2021-22 season next.
413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from the Woodhouse Auto family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to woodhousekickoff.com. That's woodhousekickoff.com.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection. The Nebraska lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov.
Woohoo! Business Technology 1, network downtime 0. Being a game-winning IT network takes hard work and an experienced technology coach. That's why our game plan includes Marco. Marco helps our entire business infrastructure perform better and score big day in and day out. With Marco's veteran experience guiding our team, every season is a winning season. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
This is the Nebraska Men's Basketball Show with assistant coach Nate Lenzer. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Keon Edwards to Wilcher, deep right corner. Bingo! Another three by Wilcher, and the Huskers have opened up a 30-9 lead. On the floor with 3:20 to go, here's Kobe Webster to the rim, and the finish right down the alley unscathed. Walker comes up with a loose ball to Bryce McGowan's. This will be a tomahawk. Wow! He jams it down with the right hand. Bryce McGowan's.
Here is your host, Greg Sharpe.
Thank you. Welcome to our men's basketball show for the week. The college basketball season set to start tomorrow. That's the opening day for college hoops. A lot of games across the country, some great matchups. The Huskers will take the hardwood at PBA against Western Illinois tomorrow night at this very time, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock pregame coverage here on the network. Numbers, you want to be a part of the program tonight, 402-413-2400. Call or text. We're also up on our YouTube stream. You can fire some questions at us through that as well. Delighted to have with us tonight and introduce to all of you Nate Lenzer, newest assistant coach for Fred Hoiberg and this basketball program. Good to see you again. It's been a couple of weeks. You doing okay?
Doing great. Just excited for the season to start, and it's always good to spend some time with you, Greg.
Let's start with just kind of introducing you to the folks. You're an Iowa product, grew up in the Midwest, so you're familiar with summers, winters, all that. It's not shaking you with what we're about to have with snow coming down here for too long.
Yeah, absolutely. Grew up in Cedar Falls, Iowa, which is obviously a college town as well. So been a few stops throughout my career. Went to school at Iowa State, coached at the University of Southern Mississippi, so spent some time in Hattiesburg. Moved back to the Midwest, coached at Iowa State for a little while, and then obviously was in Chicago. And being in Lincoln, to me, it's been a very easy transition. I have a wife and 3 kids, and obviously family's nearby, only 4.5 hours away. So just excited to get back with Coach Hoiberg and work with the Hoops program here.
How's the transition been for the family? Are they doing okay in Lincoln?
They're doing great. I have 3 girls, 2 4- and 6-year-old, and 2 of them are at the Messiah School here in town, and then we got the other one in Bubbles and Blocks. It's kind of nice just being able to almost walk across the street and be able to get them from daycare. So they've done great. It's been fun for us. Chicago was nice, but we're at a perfect stage with our family. You know, we've already gone to Husker volleyball game. We've gone to a swimming meet. We've been to all the football games we can go to. And they're at a stage where, it's fun to hang out as a family. Just the camaraderie of the campus is fun. And, it's just the little things that are fun. My girls are terrified of her being Little Red, but yet
they are pretty big.
But that's only when they get close by from afar. They love it. They've got that innocence about them too. They were really excited about going to the football game this last Saturday because they got new clear backpacks to get into the game.
Take them in.
So they loaded those up, and it's those little things that make it fun. And I even got my 2-year-old saying the "Go Big Red, Go Big Red." So she's immersed in it too, and my wife it's been an easy transition for her. The community has been great. She's already making some good friends around town, and we're excited to be here.
Those clear backpacks, she'll need those to get into PBA too. So.
They're already ready. They came through to Colorado. I had my parents come through to that game as well. So we're big in family in our house, and obviously Fred is that way as well. So it's just nice to be able to work but experience it all with the family.
Cedar Falls, same high school as a guest we had in on Hour 1, and that was athletic director Trev Alberts, correct?
Yeah, the thing that seems to hit close to home is I've gone from NU to NU, and in Cedar Falls, both Trev and I went to Northern University High School, which was labeled NU High. And for me growing up, my brother graduated in the same class as Trev, so in 1989 I'm in high school, and I'm 8 years younger, so I'm 10 or 11 years old, and to see someone graduate in a class of 55 and go on to play for Nebraska in the 90s and be at such an impressionable age. For me, I followed Nebraska football, and I followed Trev's career, not only in high school, but obviously at Nebraska, and then in the pros as well. So it just adds a layer of familiarity. My sister lived here from '94 to 2005, so there was a lot of times I spent times coming over at summertime and going to Salt Dogs games or checking out the campus or being around town, and so it's been a very, very easy transition for me. It's nice when I get to see Trev even around campus. You know, we share the same high school basketball coach, and you know, growing up and him being a role model for me at such an early age, it's just nice to be a part of his vision and be a part of this process here.
When you jumped on board here, he wasn't the AD. You had to be kind of pinching yourself a little bit, like, Trev's going to be our AD. That's cool. We got a lot of connections.
You know, funny story. When I first got here, just because of those ties from Trev to the university, I just thought that was a special thing for me. So in my office, I put up an old poster of Trev that he signed when I was in junior high, and I had it framed. And at the time, like you said, he was not the AD here. And actually, one of the first week or two he was here, he came into my office and said that I had to take down that picture. So I'm waiting until he tells me it one more time if the boss says that's the truth. But I think hopefully I can keep it up there, because it really is a good reminder to me. I always appreciate these opportunities and being in the situation that I'm in, and I think it's always good to look back. Sports have been a big part of my life, and I get to coach for a living, and I think it's important. You know, some days are better than others. It's a competitive workforce, as we know, but at the end of the day, I do love sports, and I'm passionate about sports, and it's been in me my whole life, and those are good reminders to me of not only the what but the why I do some of these things, because I was impressed by other people, and I want to pass it on as well.
He's pretty bullish on your team. He and I have talked a couple times, so he's really looking forward to watching your team play. It's a tough day today, and you're a coach. You've been a part of this. The football staff has gone through a big turnover today. 4 coaches were let go. I know it's part of the business. You all guys, you know that's a possibility, but that's never fun for anybody to go through that.
No, and you think about as leaders. I mean, obviously, it's got to be tough for Coach Frost. It's obviously tough on those assistants, but then I also think about the wives and the kids that have to go through the transition as well. We as coaches obviously know that these days can happen. You know, it happened to me when I was with the Bulls. I stayed on with the Bulls after Fred was let go for the next 2.5 seasons with Jim Boylan, and that wasn't easy to see your mentor walk out and still stay with that franchise. And then when Billy Donovan took over and he essentially said, you know, we're going to start fresh, and he had his own staff in mind, you know, those are never easy days, and it's hard to, you know, explain, you know, to your daughters that, hey, we're not maybe cheering for the Bulls anymore, or things like that. So that human element and what some of those coaches are going through today obviously hits home. But at the end of the day, I know those are special people as well, and they'll land in there. And I do believe that everything happens for a reason. I think hopefully everything will go good for the Nebraska football program moving forward, and those guys will find success as well.
Did you first cross paths with Coach Hoiberg with the Bulls?
I was with Fred his last 2 years at Iowa State.
Okay.
So, and actually, I probably first crossed paths with Fred's mom. My first teaching job out of college, I was an elementary PE teacher in Ames, and at an elementary named Fellows Elementary, and I was an elementary PE teacher, and I can't remember if she was a 5th grade or 6th grade teacher, but Karen Hoiberg, his mother, was actually in her last year, and she was retiring, but I got to teach as a colleague with her for 1 year. When I went down to Southern Miss, I had a few mutual connections to Fred, and I think the first time I actually probably formally met Fred, I was at a New Orleans at that time Hornets game, and he was scouting for the Timberwolves, and I was close with the assistant GM for the Hornets at the time, and that's the first time I actually met Fred. So, but I grew up, like I said, in Cedar Falls, Iowa. My parents went to Iowa State, so we had season basketball and football tickets pretty much throughout my life. So growing up, just like how Trev was such an impressionable thing for me for the football side, you know, Fred as a basketball player growing up was an easy one to follow, and obviously I followed his career throughout the NBA and feel very fortunate. This will be my 7th season now that I'm going to be working with Fred, and the cool thing is obviously he's a mentor, obviously he's my boss, but he's also a friend, and the relationship that we've had is gonna go way past basketball, and that's how I always look up to him as a person as well.
On our text line, Denny says, welcome to Nebraska. Also, did you cross paths with Doc at Southern Miss?
So I crossed paths with Doc at Iowa State, actually. So the year before Doc went to Southern Miss, he was with us at Iowa State. So I was with Doc for a season at Iowa State, and then obviously with him going to Southern Miss, we stayed in contact even when he was down there, and I tried to give him as best as I could the lay of the land as well as he made the transition there. So spent time 1 season with Doc at Iowa State, and then actually spent 2 years with Coach Massey as well at Iowa State. So for me, like I said, 6 years with Fred, 2 with Matt, 1 with Doc. I mean, very familiar, very easy transition, and just feel very thankful to be here at Nebraska.
And Armand's a pretty easy guy to get to know quick.
That was an easy. We call ourselves the eights, Gates and Nate, and you know, he's been such a joy to work with. His passion, just his relationships with the players, but also he's made my transition very easy. Just a great human being. I feel very fortunate to get to work with him, and he's been great about helping me learn the ropes here as well, and I just feel very thankful to be a part of his staff.
I first met you, we had that Big Red Blitz back in June, and you and Coach Frost and myself and a couple others, we flew out to North Platte, and we were at a couple different spots. Kearney and North Platte were the 2 that we hit. That was a fun day, good chance for you to kind of get out and see some Husker fans.
Well, and like you said, the running joke was I was 2 tackles off a Trev's
right there
record for tackles.
You had a concussion, right?
I missed some games, and then it's just kind of ironic that a month later, then he's both of our boss. So it's kind of interesting how that's all worked out. That opportunity to be with Coach Frost that day. I mean, there's another example of a guy who I've been out to a few practices. He's been nothing but great to me. He and Chins, Eric Shenander, both. I had some mutual contacts to him with both of their time at the University of Northern Iowa, and they spent some time through the ranks going there. And some of my closest friends said, "Hey, you got to meet these 2 guys as soon as you can." And they've done nothing but welcome me with open arms. Scott was great with me that whole day. It was cool to see the passion of the Husker fan base. But like I said, you know, when you're moving into a new situation, you know, in some places, the football coaches don't get along with the basketball coaches, or the baseball coaches, or vice versa. And I felt nothing but love throughout this whole process. Obviously, I have a little baseball in my background as well. So Coach Bolt has been great with me as well. And like I said, it's just been such an easy transition, and we're just excited to get going.
Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. One of the neat things here, Coach, and is where the training table is, everybody intermingles. And it's one of my favorite spots to just go watch, when the athletes from different sports all get together and you can see them interacting with each other. That's a really cool thing about what the setup, the way it is here.
Yeah, when I was in Chicago, I'd go to Bears practices to try and do that, just because I like the cross-pollination, just seeing other people. But the community feel of being here is awesome, and Fred is big on that too. I mean, he loves to take our staff over there, and we go over there, and I think it is important to see the volleyball staff, see the track and field staff, see the other student athletes. And I'm still learning a lot of names and faces, but for me, there's nothing that can replace the energy of a college campus. And you could feel it all fall, and I'm excited to how it's blending into the winter seasons. But it's also nice to just get out of your own office and see the student athletes, and for me to get a chance to sit with some of our players, but maybe even crisscross with other student athletes as well, and I feel very thankful to get that opportunity.
Last year was such an odd year that with everything shut down and no fans coming to any games, and I think the student athlete, they lost a year of experiencing that. That's one of the cool things as an athlete, if you're a basketball player, to be able to go to a volleyball match or a football game and experience that. And I know it's really helpful, particularly football games, in recruiting for your sport. You guys, you're able to show what the passion of this fan base is when you bring them in here in September or October for a visit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get 90,000, and you can take a recruit into that environment. Just walking around the Hendricks, I took my family, like I said, to a volleyball match, and we're sitting in the top row, and just seeing that, and just being around the people and being around the excitement, and just as you know, just being a student, getting to walk around campus, getting around to see people as the seasons change and all that, just the interactions that everybody gets around campus, and you just feel the whole vibe throughout campus, and it's neat to have all that back.
And they're all anxious to watch you guys take the floor tomorrow night. Also, Amy Williams' squad will take the floor tomorrow at noon in their opening game of the year. A lot to get to with the coach. I want to get his thoughts about the charity game with Colorado, the exhibition game with Peru. Where is his team? And a little bit about Western Illinois as we get through the show here tonight. 402-413-2400, the number to call or a text. We just got a text a moment ago. That was neat to great that. Keep those coming as well. Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. More with the coach coming up next.
When you choose Woodman Life, you choose a better life insurance company. Yes, Woodman Life is life insurance, but so much more. Woodman Life is here to protect your family's financial future and offer help when the going gets tough. And Woodman Life is honored to join you in the celebration of family, community, and country. Get to know Woodman Life at woodmanlife.org. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska. You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. Manzer Equipment in Osmond, Nebraska, your full-time Massey Ferguson dealer, proud supporters of the Huskers and Nebraska farmers since 1975. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red. What is highbid.com? It's the online auction site for just about everything under the sun. Art and antiques, cars and coins, office equipment and furniture, toys and tools. You can find it all at highbid.com. Highbid.com gives you access to thousands of auctions across the USA and around the world. Browse the most popular auctions, search for the exact item you want, or just explore the site. Go to highbid.com. That's HIBID.com and find what you're looking for today.
This year, don't just get ready. Get holiday ready with Ford. And the best place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Whether you're getting out to the mall or getting off the grid, we've got a Ford SUV that's perfect for you. Or check out America's best-selling trucks, Ford F-Series. Inventory is arriving daily, so get the season started off right and get our best offers during the Get Holiday Ready sales event at your local Ford dealer. Best-selling claim based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Lutz is an integrated business solutions firm born and raised in Nebraska, with offices in Omaha, Lincoln, Hastings, and Grand Island. Lutz provides expert accounting, consulting, financial, technology, M&A, and talent solutions tailored to you. Lutz embraces your business as their own to discover the right solutions to help you thrive. They mind what matters for businesses or individuals seeking a partner to help energize and heighten financial and organizational success. Visit lutz.us/GBR.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
This year, don't just get ready, get holiday ready with Ford. And the best place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Whether you're getting out to the mall or getting off the grid, we've got a Ford SUV that's perfect for you. Or check out America's best-selling trucks, Ford F-Series. Inventory is arriving daily, so get the season started off right and get our best offers during the Get Holiday Ready sales event at your local Ford dealer. Best-selling claim based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning and house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's cheesy mac and cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit famousdaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.
Welcome back inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe with you. Nate Lenzer. It's our men's basketball show for the week. Huskers open the season tomorrow against Western Illinois. If you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. Rudy in Florida for you, Coach, says, have you had a chance to try a Runza? And do you have a specific area that you cover in recruiting? We'll be listening and go Big Red.
I have had a Runza. I've had a few. I will say this: my parents, it's at the top of their list every time they come to town.
You gotta go to Runza.
Yeah. So usually when they come to town, then that way we can jump on board as well. Recruiting wise, our Matt Abdelmassi obviously is one of the top recruiters in the country. So, and he's been well established with that. He's been doing it a long time. I think the biggest thing for me is I just try to supplement as much as I can with Matt. And like I said, that's where it's been easy for me with our time at Iowa State. So we worked together back then. So this was an easy transition. I would say if I am, I would say the biggest thing is, if you said region, is probably more locally, whether it's Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, and things like that. But then, like I said, Matt has such a handle on all of it, especially in July. Like, it was a lot of cross-referencing and things like that. A lot of the targets.
And he was laid up in
has.
July.
Exactly. So, which for me was good, because it gave me an opportunity to go out and be able to get myself back up to speed. It's not that I haven't recruited, but I had been in the NBA for 6 years, so. And most of my contacts, at least at Southern Miss, I was down south, so it was good for me to just be able to remake some contacts with the people that I know in the Midwest. And like I said, just being able to help Matt in each and every way that I can.
Mentioned earlier, the COVID year was so different, and one of the things it didn't allow any on-campus visits. You finally, I think they opened the doors June 1st for that to happen, and be able to bring prospective student-athletes here to see these facilities. That's a big part of it, isn't it, right? Get them here on campus and let them see what we have to offer.
Yeah, I mean, I missed a lot of the COVID recruiting, obviously, but as soon as June hit, I got here in April, so there was a layer of Zoom calls maybe those last month or two, but once June hit, I mean, we were packed, and in June we had everybody coming through on all the weekends, and then in July we were out. So, I mean, it was pretty frantic that June and July, but it was good. I was brought up to speed quickly, and I was involved in the recruiting process with Matt and Fred early, which I appreciated. So I was a part of some of those Zoom calls, and then to be able to get those personal interactions with them, especially in June, and then we had a few of those targets come back again in the fall. It's been good. It's been frantic, but it's been good. That's what it's about. Is making sure that you're always restocking everything and staying ahead of the game that way. And like I said, I think Matt's one of the best at that, and I feel very fortunate to be a part of the staff.
The early signing period is coming up on Wednesday. It's a week-long period for college basketball, volleyball, some other sports as well. 3 or 4 anticipating? I know you can't mention names yet because they haven't signed yet, but you anticipate 3 or 4 to sign, right?
Yeah, and like I said, we've done a great job of getting some guys through on campus and all that. So I mean, we anticipate a good week this week, and we'll just continue to keep working.
Wonderful. Let's head to the phone. Let's go to West Point. Husker Dan, you are up with Coach Lenzer.
Hey, gentlemen, how's it going tonight?
Great, thanks.
Hey, I just want to give you some Husker love. I'm glad you're on board with us. There's a lot of buzz going on with the basketball team this year. First 5-star player, and I've been watching all the media and the statistics and all the numbers and stuff like that, and I think this is going to be a breakout year. Not that we're not playing good as a basketball team for Nebraska, but I think we're really going to turn some heads this year, and I'm just glad you're part of this, and I just want to welcome you and your family to Nebraska, and I just wish you all the success.
Well, thank you so much, Dan, and we're excited as well. I mean, I wouldn't be here in Lincoln if I didn't believe in what Coach Hoiberg and his staff are doing here. We had some opportunities, obviously, after last year, and the relationship with Fred and his vision and his belief in this program ultimately sold us on coming to Lincoln. And so I share that same passion, that same belief that you have. We're excited. We're ready for the season to start. And it's people like you that have kind of solidified that. So thanks for that call, Dan, and happy to be here.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. How valuable was the Colorado charity scrimmage that you had a couple of weeks ago, just to kind of get a sense of where you are?
Yeah, I mean, Colorado, but I thought, I can even back it up to opening night, to your point. Like, the fans weren't there, so that was the first chance for the guys to be around the fans. And just to get some of those jitters out, and then it leads into Peru State, who presented its challenges, especially in the first half, and just going against another opponent. We have so many. We have some returners, but there are some new faces, and anytime you're starting a season, you're shuffling, where you're at and the positions. We have options, as Fred has talked about a lot, and so you get a chance to not only try them in a practice environment, but in an actual game environment. So that was good. And then, to your point, leading into Colorado, going against a Power 5, going against an old rival, there was just you could sense that the guys were excited about the opportunity. There was a great crowd on that morning. You always want to see how your team even responds to a earlier tip-off like that, and because, as you know, we're not always going to go at 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's on a Saturday or Sunday morning, so those are all teachable moments for your team and for your program. And I thought we did a good job of taking advantage of that opportunity. And there's still a lot of things that we need to clean up from. Fred has talked about it. I think we like where we're at, but I think we all know that we have a long ways to go, and there's a lot that we can improve on as well. But it was still good for the guys, I thought, to get a little confidence as well. And I thought we played some good stretches against Colorado.
You'll play Auburn early in the morning in December, so that's a great tune-up. I hadn't thought about that. You also had a chance to have a nice lead at halftime, but still with 20 minutes to go, to tell the guys, don't let up. That was maybe a good teachable thing, too, in a game that wasn't going to cost you either way, but it was a good lesson to say, we got to keep playing.
Yeah, like I said, those are teachable moments that happened, I thought, a little bit in the Peru State. We talk a lot about, the 4-minute games, those media timeouts, not getting caught up in what the scoreboard says, but making sure that we're staying in the moment and winning those 4-minute games. And it was good for us to go through a little adversity against Colorado, because I think you start to learn a little bit more about yourselves, and it was good about how we were able to, after going through that rough stretch, kind of get back control of the game and make sure we took care of business. So there's nothing like those experiences. I mean, you could talk about all you want. You can put all the situations you want in practice and things like that. But when your two teams become one, and you truly are going against an opponent that is trying to take away your strengths, you start to learn more about yourself. And both contests, the Peru State and the Colorado game, were good exhibitions for us, and now it's time to move on to when things really count, starting tomorrow night.
Text for you from Mark. He says, is the pull-up jumper a part of our offense? Some guys look like they have outstanding ones.
Yeah, I think.
Transition jumpers, maybe?
Fred is always Fred was a shooter. So I mean, Fred wants to recruit guys that can shoot. He wants guys that can make shots. So yeah, if there's a open shot, especially, and if it's a three, Fred's going to always like those shots. We also want to put pressure on the defense too, as well. Whether it's getting to the rim and also getting to the foul line. So. And I think our guys are starting to figure out a little bit too of where they're getting their shots and their touches as well, and I like the direction that we're headed that way. So, yes, Mark, if it's a pull-up jump shot and it's a good shooter, and especially if it goes in, we'll take that every single time.
Love it. Hey, Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. Need to take a break? Phone lines are open for you at 402-413-2400. Call or text. We'll offer up those responses to the coach. Come on back with more next.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline, and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
When you choose Woodman Life, you choose a better life insurance company. Yes, Woodman Life is life insurance, but so much more. Woodman Life is here to protect your family's financial future and offer help when the going gets tough. And Woodman Life is honored to join you in the celebration of family, community, and country. Get to know Woodman Life at woodmanlife.org. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Both farmers and Division I athletes are alike in that every season presents a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative does what they always do, which is lean into every new opportunity. They focus on their roots and continue to stay tougher together with their farmer owners. These core beliefs are much like those of committed Husker athletes. Aurora Cooperative leans on their values of a strong work ethic to get any job done for their producers. Aurora Cooperative, tougher together.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's Game On at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
Much like the values of the people of Nebraska, Nebraska Realty was built on the principles of hard work, dedication, and doing things the right way. They believe strongly in the power of creating lasting relationships and the value those relationships hold. Their success is based on trust and the relationships created with the people and communities they serve across the state of Nebraska. There really is no place like Nebraska Realty.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection. The Nebraska Lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne.
And I'm Coach Frost.
Statistics prove that youth who are mentored and receive support and guidance from a caring adult show measurable improvement in academic achievement, motivation to succeed, and hope.
Over the past 30 years, Teammates has served more than 43,000 youth. And right now there are more than 1,000 waiting for a Teammates mentor to visit with them once a week in school.
For more information on how you can help the Teammates Mentoring Program, please go to teammates.org, and thank you for supporting our youth.
Sponsored by Nebraska Crossing Fast Cash app.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres Solutions for every field. It's our men's basketball show for the night. Huskers open the season tomorrow against Western Illinois. Nate Lenzer with us until the top of the hour. If you want to be part of this one, 402-413-2400. You really shot the ball well, particularly early in the game against Colorado. You've been around this group for 6-7 months now. How do you feel about the way this group can be offensively?
Yeah, I mean, we addressed a lot of needs recruiting-wise as far as getting guys that can make shots. And I think there's been a layer of development too, even with some of the guys as well. And we did shoot the ball well against Colorado. Our defensive activity though at times was pretty good as well in the Colorado and the Peru State game. I do think we have area of growth there. It's the old adage, the defending and rebound is something that can travel and something that you always have. But Fred's system, our system, has always been built on scoring the ball, and the more guys that can shoot the ball, the better, and the more the offense functions. It's not always about even making shots. Just the gravity of shooters allows your drivers to drive as well. So I do think we have options, and the guys understand that they need to play their minutes with force, and that becomes a healthy competition as well. So that way we do play the highest quality of basketball.
Primarily, you work out at the Hendricks Complex, a beautiful facility for basketball, but you play in PBA. Do you feel like you're getting enough reps, enough practice sessions in PBA for the guys to get used to that backdrop?
Yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised. This is my first go at it, and obviously a Hendricks Training Center is second to none, so that's a great venue. But you always want to shoot on your own rims. You always want to shoot in those backdrops. So, like I said, opening night was great. Having the 2 exhibitions at home was great, and I do feel like our staff has done a good job of when the schedule allows getting in there, so that way our guys can be as comfortable as possible in that venue.
Back to a text. Irvin Scotter says, Coach, will we be a better free throw shooting team this year?
We work on it. We work on it every single day. It's been a priority. I know it's been a priority in the past as well, but I can only speak from the time I've been here. And we've tried to put the guys also in competitive situations to make free throws as well. Our practices have been competitive, and if there's a winner or loser, the loser may have free throws to determine if they actually run or not. So we've tried to not only do the bulk volume of free throws, but also put them in as many pressure situations as well. And that's one of our points of emphasis. We have others as well, and we're doing our best, and I know our guys are doing their best to address it as well.
Rebounding, in the Colorado game, they had a big discrepancy on you, particularly on the offensive glass. How do you emphasize that in practice? What do you do with that? How do you handle that with the team?
Yeah, there's no one secret formula to it as far as just one thing. Obviously, there's the reps. There are conditions that we've been putting on for the guys in practice, as games happen and things happen as well. There becomes a point in time where you have to get the job done as well, and we've shown edits of it. We've worked on it in practice, and we've talked technique, but we've also worked technique as well. And I think at times, especially our 5 men are doing a good job, at least of blocking their own guys out. But I think, our guards, there's some rebounding down opportunities for us. I think we know that we don't have a big 7-foot guy to just clean up all the messes for the rebounds, or Andre Drummond type of player that's just going to get all of them. I think it's got to be a collective effort, and we have guys that are capable in that backcourt that just that need to grow and improve, and it's been an emphasis. I know Coach has talked about it a lot, and we've hit on it a lot these last couple of weeks as well. And the thing that we continue to stress with our guys as well is we run a multi-handler system, and if we're getting stops, our offense functions at a much better level that way. And for some of our multi-handler guys, if they get those rebounds, they can bust out and they can bring the ball up the floor as well. So they both go hand in hand. Obviously, we need to finish possessions defensively, but it also fuels our break on the offensive end, and the guys understand it, and we just have to continue to work at it.
Can Trey be a good rebounder?
Absolutely, and that's one in general. Specifically, spent a lot of time with him even recently, just in the film session, and just showing the opportunities that are there for him. I think it's a mindset, it's a will as well. He's a smart kid. He's a tough kid. He's got all the athletic tools for it. And, that's the one time where you can really, really be selfish a little bit too. Obviously, we don't want 2 guys ripping away from each other, but we need all 5 guys on the glass. And to your point, sometimes those bigs are always tied up with those big bigs. So that's when those guards need to come and join the fight and clean up. those rebounds.
As much as everybody's shooting the three, you're going to get a lot of long rebounds anyway. So your guards have to factor into that because the ball's going to go over the bigs and go out to the free throw line, extend it, or something like that to go grab it. I may be the president of the Alonzo Verge fan club. I love his game. I love the way he moves. Not sure I was a big fan of his sunglasses that he took to media day, but that's a stylistic type thing. Tell me about him and what a great get, kind of late in the game for you guys.
Yeah, he's been very good for us. He brings a confidence and a swagger that is good for our team. He brings a dynamic playmaking ability. He's very good in pick and roll, which is a huge element of our offense. He's not afraid of the moment. He's been in some bigger college basketball games as well, so he's a veteran when it comes to that. And I think he understands a sense of urgency as well. This is it's coming to that time where his college career is winding up, and you can tell that it's important to him. He has goals just like everybody else on our team, but I think he sees on the horizon. He got a little feedback from the draft process and what things that he needed to work on, and it's been good to see how he's gone about trying to get better himself and trying to lead. He knows he has to get better as well, and I think he's doing a good job of buying into what we're trying to do.
Love him. Hey, our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance and buy online at woodhouse.com. Need to take our final break. Still some time if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. 402-413-2400. We'll wrap it up with a coach next.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson. But when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection. The Nebraska lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Much like the values of the people of Nebraska, Nebraska Realty was built on the principles of hard work, dedication, and doing things the right way. They believe strongly in the power of creating lasting relationships and the value those relationships hold. Their success is based on trust and the relationships created with the people and communities they serve across the state of Nebraska. There really is no place like Nebraska Realty.
Successful farmers must make good decisions every day. In pivot irrigation, the choice is simple. T&L exclusive hydraulically powered pivot irrigation systems are like no other. You get tough, reliable, and cost-effective irrigation. Let T&L's 60 years of irrigation experience work for you. Call your local T&L dealer or T&L Irrigation Company today. T&L, like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning and house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's Cheesy Mac and Cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit famousdaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
We're back in our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer. 27 locations across Nebraska and down into Kansas. Acres Solutions for every field. It's our men's basketball show for the week. Huskers open the season tomorrow night against Western Illinois. Nate Lenzer with us for a couple of more minutes. Let's talk about the Leathernecks a little bit. What kind of opposition is this for the team tomorrow?
Yeah, they really look to score the ball. They have a couple guards that really look to attack. They will play a lot of multi-pick and roll type actions. Both opponents this week will be that way. They have some size as well. They'll start 6'7", 6'10", 6'10", and they return some guys from last year, Carius being their kind of main cog, who averaged 15 points a game and can really shoot it, and they do a lot of things through him, whether it's isolating him and also spacing him and moving him around. But they have some versatility to the roster as well. They can spread you out at times with 5 shooters, but then they also have a couple guys on the inside that will change some shots and will put some heat on the rim as well. So just in watching them on film, and it's still early in the season, I think everybody's still figuring out their rotations, and you get new guys. I think the transfer portal, just like everybody, they've got new guys from new situations as well. So they're kind of finding out how they will play and how things will match up that way. But they really look to score the ball. They really look to spread you out. They will crash the offensive glass, and it'll be a great test for our guys tomorrow night.
You mentioned one of 2 games this week. Sam Houston State will be here Friday. Then you've got Creighton next Tuesday. So you've got 3 games in about 8 days. So it's go time now. Sam Houston's a program that's had some good success down in Texas.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, those guys will really, really play hard. They'll get after you defensively, so a little bit different that way. They went 13-3 in their league last year and returned 4 or 5 starters, 6 of their top 9. So, and their 5th starter is a transfer from Texas A&M, who played great minutes for A&M as well. So. They have experienced success. Like I said, they were 3rd in their league. They're kind of in a new situation. They're moving over to the WAC conference this year. So anytime in these situations, these teams will come in and they have nothing to lose. They lay it out on the floor, and Western Illinois will do that on Tuesday. It'll be the same Friday, same Houston State. And like I said, I think that's why that Peru State in general, like the Colorado game, human nature for 18 to 21-year-olds. Sometimes they get up for those Power 5 schools, but what guys have to always remember is that other guys get the same opportunities, and they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. So it's important that we take care of business and have the right mindset each and every night we step out on the court.
Very good. Once it gets going, it gets cranked up. Looking forward to this. I know everybody can't wait to get back into PBA tomorrow night. Appreciate you coming in tonight. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks so much. Go Big Red.
Nate Lenzer with us here tonight on our Husker men's basketball show. You can win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL 4-wheel drive Super Crew truck from Woodhouse Auto Family during the football season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse is going to give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and get your official rules, go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse. Big Red against Western Illinois tomorrow at 7. Pregame coverage with Kent and Jake begins at 6 o'clock. Husker women play at noon against Maine. Their pregame show begins at 11:45. Thanks, Coach, for coming in here tonight. Thanks to Andrew and Tim for being a part of this program. Have a great night. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Great job, everyone. Printers, great coverage.
Phones, quick pickups. Firewall, tough defense. And network, way to carry the whole team. Ever since Marco started calling our technology plays, we work smarter and our whole game is more streamlined. Marco's all-star services and support give us the winning edge. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red. Lutz is an integrated business solutions firm born and raised in Nebraska with offices in Omaha, Lincoln, Hastings, and Grand Island. Lutz provides expert accounting, consulting, financial, technology, M&A, and talent solutions tailored to you. Lutz embraces your business as their own to discover the right solutions to help you thrive. They mind what matters for businesses or individuals seeking a partner to help energize and heighten financial and organizational success. Visit lutz.us/GBR.
Much like the values of the people of Nebraska, Nebraska Realty was built on the principles of hard work, dedication, and doing things the right way. They believe strongly in the power of creating lasting relationships and the value those relationships hold. Their success is based on trust and the relationships created with the people and communities they serve across